Hey ladies, thanks for joining me. My name's Heather Petherick, and I'm here to share with you an incredible interview with one of my favorite clients, Deidre Dixon. I'm just going to bring Deidre on camera as she joins, and as you are joining, I want you to know that we're talking all about getting out of your own way. You know, as female business leaders and entrepreneurs, we can often get so wrapped up in trying to be perfect. Anybody give me a thumbs up if that resonates with you. Hey, Deidre, and I'm just gonna add you. Yeah, love to see you. I know I just sent you an invite. As we are adding you today. Ladies, for those of you who are joining our live video today, be sure to post your comments and questions as Deidre and I dive into today's video and really dissect what it means to unhook from perfectionism, to stop over analyzing and second guessing, so that you can stop keeping that high level thinking, keeping your business progress hostage. Hey, Deidre, trying to add you, Deidre. And when you get the invite, Deidre, come on in. So post a thumbs up, ladies, if you have ever called yourself, or if you've ever been accused of being a perfectionist. Thumbs up, hearts. Having some challenge here. Hold on. I know I can see you, Deidre, and I was having challenges with this earlier today. It does not like. I'm going to bring you in. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to add you again, Deidre, just to get us going. You know, I love Facebook when it really works well. But we've been having some challenges today. Okay, I just, it says that you've declined the invite, Deidre. Is that true? Probably not. But we're going to try one more time to bring you on camera here. Third time's a charm. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh, connecting! Yay!
It's not true. I gotta set you up though, just a second.
Awesome. I was going to start losing faith in my Facebook technology. So glad you're here, Deidre.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here too.
Awesome. So where are you joining us from? Let everybody know. Where you hail from?
Let me rotate this way a little bit. It was giving me a little bit of an error. Can you still see me all right?
I can, but now we're upside down. That's the way.
Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
So joining you from Texas, where it's still 120 degrees outside.
Oh, yeah, but you look radiant. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to dive in. We've had the pleasure of working together for a while now. And I know what I love about you is your ability to be generous, to be candid, and to be authentic with your story and your growth over the last, what has it been? Almost a year since I think I first met you. And what I really want to showcase today, Deidre, is your beautiful example of a woman who is naturally intelligent, thinks at a high level, and is so incredibly creative. That is the genius of what you do and how you serve your clients. But you're a great example of how that skill can sometimes, we can get in our own way because we think we need to be perfect, we overanalyze, we second guess, and you have been able to make some real transformation on that front. Yeah?
Yes. Yes, that
So you're already overanalyzing your response.
I strive so much for perfectionism that I naturally, all my ladies will realize I'm breaking out in hives just thinking about like the technology error that we just experienced coming onto this. So it has definitely it has been a blessing and a curse to be creative and to strive for that perfectionism. Yeah, and it's served me well in some areas, and in some areas it hasn't.
Yeah. Well, we're going to dive all into that and share with viewers part of that journey and what you have learned and how to unhook from some of that what do we call it? Paralysis analysis? Over analysis? Yeah. Anyway, it's been a long Monday already, you can tell. But before we dive into that, Deidre, because a lot of people are just meeting you for the first time in our community, let us tell everybody a little bit more about who you are and what you do in your business.
Sure. So I'm the owner and the designer behind a Walcot studio, and we create and build beautiful brands for entrepreneurs and small business owners. And we also create stunning and strategic websites, and really try to help business owners retain a high level of consistency across any kind of digital platform that they have.
Yeah. Okay, thumbs up or hearts for anybody watching who wants a piece of that. I don't know any online entrepreneur or business leader who doesn't carry some level of website shame or social media guilt because maybe we don't look as consistent as we'd like, or we know that we're not implementing at the level we should. Thumbs up, hearts, yeah. So tell me a little bit more about, pardon me, how you got into the work that you do and how you discovered that this is really your gift to share with the world.
Sorry, Heather, you kind of cut out on that question. Can you repeat it one more time?
You bet. Tell us a little bit more about your own business journey, when you started, how you got started, and how you came to understand that this is really how you can serve the world.
Yeah, so about 5 years ago, well, actually previous to that, I had really had a corporate career in sales and marketing and management. And my degree is in marketing, and that's what I kind of already knew that I wanted to do, but I just didn't know what structure that I wanted to be in. So I started off in a lot of different local businesses and agencies, and really realized that I wanted to do something a little different for the local landscape and work differently with other clients. And so that really was like the building block of why I decided to go out on my own and take clients, not only as a consultant, but as an implementer too. And so just started building like that. And I was really surprised, I guess, at the level of growth that I really saw in the first year and the second year and the third year. And it just seemed to be going very, very well. But what I realized is that I was being all things marketing for all people. And so a lot of my growth journey has been trying to really be a certain, just really be a strategic partner, I guess, with people that are a little bit more need specific things, instead of trying to stretch myself too thin. And, that's really like where my level of perfectionism was falling, because I was just doing too many things. So now, this year we have almost hit year 6, I guess, in my entire entrepreneurial journey. And I've been building my team, and really, like, again, trying to streamline, and always working on myself, and always working on my business to try to improve processes and procedures, and align ourselves with different people too. So yeah,
very cool. So give our audience a better sense of like who is your ideal client. I know you're into year 6, so you've learned a lot, tried lots, and you're honing things in, but who today is your ideal client?
My ideal client, we work with a lot of different industries, and I love that because it keeps us really sharp and fresh, and we don't really get stagnant in what we're offering because we're always learning about a new industry. But if I'm being honest, my ideal customer and my ideal client, female entrepreneurs. They appreciate the organization and the strategy behind everything, and then they value in beautiful design too. So
yes, we do.
Yeah, not to discount a male entrepreneur, but females just know what it needs to look like. They know what it needs to feel like. And so I find those are the most thrilling client meetings that I have and collaborations where I get to use creativity, but still, provide them something that supports them in their growth in their business too. So female entrepreneurs for sure. I've really, I just love supporting that community, and I love the partnership and the friendship that comes afterwards too.
Yeah, very cool. I love what you say about it being a partnership, because you really are, for many, many women that are online creating a business of self, it is a personal brand, and it's an intimate thing to turn yourself into, colors, font, style, mood, and you do that so well. You really are, in my mind, there are designers, and then there are designers. Definitely put you in the latter category. I want to come back though to something that you said a second ago about, so in your own business journey, Deidre, and I think a lot of people will relate to this when they start their business, that sometimes in the early years, we've got to make, we've got to bootstrap, we don't have a lot of resources, and sometimes we've got to take on clients that maybe push us out of a core offering, that maybe we start offering services or add-ons to satisfy clients, because we've got to pay the bills, we've got to make our way. And as business grows and you can begin to hone your services, sometimes you've got to peel back the layers and stop doing everything for everyone and really start honing in. And I know that's one of the things I wanted to highlight in your story for our viewers, is that when business starts to grow, as it is for you, it's an opportunity to pull back. It's an opportunity to focus on what you love doing, but also it demands that you unhook from some of the people pleasing, the perfectionism, and the overanalyzing and second guessing. How would you respond to that?
That's been really, I guess, my Achilles heel is the perfectionism in trying to figure out, what can I offer that is still valuable enough that I can let go of some of these services. And I guess my biggest thing that I realized is that I was telling myself, my inner mind game was, I'm not really good enough for that, or I'm not classically trained in that. So how am I claiming that? Or, just telling myself, you haven't done enough of that yet. And then trying to make sure that the clients that I do take with those services, almost even like perfecting them to the point where I can't even get anywhere with them. And so really trying, I guess my response to that is it's really just trying to master your mind game in building the confidence in yourself and not believing the lies, so that you can tailor down to the services and the ideal client that you want to work with ultimately.
Yeah, I love the label you give to it, Deidre, the mind games. And would love to know, for those of you watching the replay or live, give us a thumbs up if, as an entrepreneur, you ever feel like you are trapped in the mind game of trying to, provide a high level of service, wow your clients, but also keep your sanity in the process. So tell me, Deidre, when you say mind game, help us understand more of what that looks like for you in particular, or what it has looked like.
What has it looked like?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the past, before you and I started working together, my biggest thing was confidence and believing the crazy inner roommate, as I like to call her, telling me, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not smart enough, that I'm not organized enough. I'm not perfect enough. I don't have this yet. I don't have that yet. And that inner monologue that was just on replay for me, I had to get it right. I had to do some work, and I'm still doing work. I do work every single day. I mean, it's not a lie. An hour ago, I was up against something, and I caught myself slipping and saying, quit trying to do something that you're not good at. And
Mm.
so it's not necessarily something that I really feel like I'm ever going to master. I feel like there's going to be different seasons in my life where I can quiet her down, I guess. But the daily tools and reminders of proving to myself, like, I am good enough, I am here, and taking a second to really reflect on the things that I have accomplished or clients that I have been able to work with. That really allows me to kind of, I guess, shut her up, really, you know, and just try to get back into more of a positive mindset, if you will, on everything that's really coming at you. I think as a small business owner, and everybody who's done this knows, you hit a challenge multiple times a day. I mean, if you're lucky, once a day, but you hit these challenges multiple times a day. And just like right now, like we're on Facebook Live, and you're coming across so choppy that I can't hardly understand. And you know, hit these things, and you kind of have to, I know, you have to face them with humor, I guess, and you have to face them with a little bit more of a lightheartedness. Because one thing I know about small business owners and females that are trying to build their own business, we're already high achievers. We're hard on ourselves. We're our own worst critic.
Yes.
We're so critical, and we're people pleasers. I mean, ultimately, like, if you're getting into the service game, it's because you want to serve and you want to give your gifts away. And so taking those two things, taking that people pleasing mentality and that highly critical voice in your head, and trying to channel those into pushing you to be better and pushing you towards your goals and being still a high achiever, but also allowing yourself some grace. And like I said, trying to find humor in things, and trying to push on, I guess. That's the key, I guess.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I absolutely love what you have said. Absolutely. And I think we do ourselves a disservice. I mean, a lot of people would, if they're watching this live or replay, it would be so easy for anyone to look at you and say, oh my gosh, Deidre is drop dead gorgeous. Oh my God, she's got a team. She's got a thriving business. Like, how could she have any insecurities, right? She's 6 years in and business continues to grow. You know, it would be so easy for any of us to say, it's easy for Deidre. She doesn't have, you know, the inner mind game or the inner crazy roommate, as you call her. But it's so true that at every level of success, there is a mental game that must be played to keep moving forward.
Absolutely. That's something that I think what has helped me the most in that arena, and trying to, because I do that too. I look at people on Instagram where I'm like, oh, they're doing the exact same thing I do, and look, they're light years ahead of me, or oh, she's way better designer, or I like that style better. Maybe my brand should look like that. I mean, I do that all the time. And if I didn't believe so much in consistency, I probably would be changing my brand all the time, you know. But I also think that what's helped me is the group of ladies that I'm in right now with you and with all of them. And I know that for me in the very beginning, I was really reluctant to join. I was so like, I was pulling back from it. I didn't want the community. I didn't want people to uncover the things that I was telling myself. I was afraid of maybe them finding out that maybe those things I'm telling myself are true. And what I found is the complete opposite, right? I found that my struggle is not unique. My issues are not unique. And whatever stage you're in, you still fight them, or you still, or you have gone through them before and you have wisdom to give to others. I find that a lot in the community that we're in. And, you know, I found myself pulling back away from that and not wanting to be a part of it. But after a few months, I realized, after I started to lean in, that's exactly what I needed. I needed that group of women to get me outside of my own head, really, and tell me and share the tactics that they've done and they've implemented in their own businesses. And that's the biggest piece of that I can attribute growth to this year, and not wanting to throw in the towel and say, forget it. I'm taking down the website. I'm not renewing the domain because it is a mind game all the time. But if you have that group of ladies that just keep you strong, and that you can share experiences with too, it makes so much difference. It's like keeping your mind in shape. I hate working out, so I'm not going to use like any analogy like that, but I mean, it kind of goes to being healthy and keeping your mind healthy.
Yeah, very cool. So if viewers don't, I'm going to tell them a little bit more about what you're alluding to. This is totally not an intentional plug, but because you raised the issue, I will say what Deidre is talking about, ladies. If you don't know about it, it is the Unshakable Business Leaders program that I am honored to organize and deliver for a pretty intimate group of high-level female business leaders and entrepreneurs. Deidre is one of those members, and there are 10 other beautiful ladies from around the world that we meet for every other week on a mastermind call, as well as some private coaching attention on the off weeks to, like you say, Deidre, to sharpen up our mindset, to navigate the mind games, and to stay out of that perfectionism that can otherwise wipe people out. Hey, Pardeep, there's another one of our ladies. So because you are such a great, I mean, because you're so generous, and you are, you're right in the middle of building your business, reaching for some great goals, launching some exciting new products and services to support your clients. I wonder, what advice do you have, Deidre? Things that you have used, techniques or habits that you have adopted that you want to share with other women growing their business?
I'll say that, as a general rule, the thing that's helped me the most is trying to always keep the end game in sight. So it's easy to get really sidetracked every single day on the working in your business or working for clients, especially if you're in a service-based business. It's so easy to get distracted by those types of things and can be overwhelming. And I think what's helped me is that I have an end game in sight. Probably not an end game. It's probably not going to be the end game when I get there. But keeping that in sight and really trying to check in with myself and saying, are the things that I'm being overwhelmed with right now things that are getting me to my end game? And if they are, then maybe it's a course correction of really what I'm trying to do, or outsource that, because maybe it's not my talent, and that's fine. But just trying to keep the end goal in sight and surround yourself with like-minded people who have been there and are really cheering you on along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. So what do you know now? I mean, I love that you shared the fact that early on in this journey this year that you were resistant to sharing some of your fears, some of, what that inner roommate was telling you in terms of doubts and fears and criticisms. But what do you know now in terms of what is needed for, I think we call it mental fitness, like to stay sharp mentally and not get taken out?
What is needed? Is that what you're asking? Sorry, it cut out again.
Yeah.
What is needed for mental health, to be mentally healthy? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's helped me is just trying to keep a positive attitude, trying to do daily check-ins. I know whenever I'm when I'm feeling overwhelmed or, kind of lost in where I'm going, or if I feel like I'm being super critical of myself or, just kind of negative, I think what really helps me is leaning in a little bit more, because I tend to pull back, and being more a part of the group instead of going into that solidarity, I guess, and that isolation.
Yeah.
That's helped me a lot, because it can get lonely. It can get really lonely, especially if, I live in a smaller town, and I've never been somebody that has, you know, more than, I don't have like a huge network that I just go to and discuss things and talk to them about challenges. And there are a lot of them. When you're a mom and you're raising babies and you're raising a family, and
Yeah.
you're trying to stay healthy for you, and you're trying to grow a business, and you're trying to get more clients, and you're trying to just work, so it's like trying to find that group of people that share the same commonalities, and really leaning in. It might be uncomfortable at first. I know it was for me. But in doing so, I'm able to tell myself that I'm able to at least look and say, is this really the truth that I'm telling myself, or is this really a lie that I'm telling myself? And with that community, they're able to support me in saying, this is a lie. This is a lie. Get over it. And it's almost tough love, and speaking just candidly with one another. And I love that piece of it, because it can be really lonely. And when you're lonely,
Yeah.
you can get defeated really quick, and you can start to listen to that inner roommate a lot more, especially if she's the only one talking. So I would just say
Exactly.
lean in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've experienced this as well, Deidre, I think, and I've shared that with you, that there is such a tendency for female business leaders to, as you say, pull back and to isolate when we start to doubt ourselves or compare ourselves to somebody else. And when you isolate, yeah, you start to believe your own fears, your own false thinking, your own self-criticisms.
Yeah.
And that, as much as anything else, can suck the life out of you and your business. So I'm so proud of how you have turned the tide, how you've, gotten into the community and made yourself accessible to the support and inspiration that you need to truly show up strong for your clients. Most, Deidre, is that when I see you doing that again and again, fighting that resistance to isolate versus leaning in and accessing support, I see you growing exponentially in your business and growing in your ability to serve your clients, because your creativity isn't being squashed by that awful critical inner dialogue.
That's huge too. Absolutely. Keeping your creativity
Yeah.
high, and not really listening to the overwhelm, or falling victim to that.
Yeah, not believing in it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, thumbs up, ladies, if that resonates with you. Awesome. So I know many of our viewers are curious to know what new is coming for Walcot Studios and Deidre.
Well, there's just been a huge lack of, I really started my business and doing more strategizing with business owners and helping them do, like I said, all things marketing. And when I kind of shifted my business to be a little bit more specific, I was missing that piece of strategy, because I love it. And it's just something that lights me up, something I'm just naturally good at. And so over the last couple of years, I've been implementing tools and time savers and efficiencies to help small business owners, a lot of my clients, improve their marketing processes or their content creation. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm packaging those up, and I'm getting ready to launch them.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of coming, but more importantly, I still want to be able to support my clients in that realm. But more importantly, instead of doing it for them, I want to empower them to do it, or their staff or their team to do it for themselves in the most efficient way possible. So I'm launching a few new things and working on that right now.
Yeah, very cool. I love seeing you package up your expertise and get it out so that you can serve your clients. And I know that in that whole process of bringing something new to the marketplace, that I mean, those old fears of wanting it to be perfect and overanalyzing, is this, the right thing? They come up again at every level.
Every level.
There's a whole new devil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's come up. It's come up the minute that I said I want to do this. I want to package it up. And it comes up to, well, I can't really bring it to market yet because it's not quite perfect, or let me get someone else's opinion, or let me just make sure that it's good enough. Let me make sure. And I mean, you've been instrumental in that, and our group has been instrumental in just, it's good. It's good. Get it out there. So it's encouraging.
Yes, it is of value. And I think, humbly, that the more often we expect, if you expect, or I expect, or anybody expects our efforts to be perfect, none of us would have a business, right? Because we'd be sitting on the fence waiting to be perfect.
I'm sorry, I lost all of that. Didn't hear any of it, but I probably agree.
Awesome. Ladies, what do you think? Thumbs up, hearts if you agree. We would love to know your comments and perspectives. So I just want to wrap this up. I know we've got lots on the go today. I want to thank you so much, Deidre, for taking the time out, sharing some of your story, your journey, and your transformation with the ladies in our community. I know it is incredibly inspiring, because I don't know an entrepreneur, a female business leader on the planet who doesn't get tripped up by that mind game, the inner critic, and thinking we've got to be perfect to build a business.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Any last words of advice, Deidre, before I let you go?
Last words for me. No, not really. I think we covered it all, and I'm just grateful that you invited me. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. You are a true beauty and inspiration, Deidre. Thank you so much for being here today. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.